For my book report, I will be reviewing Department 19. Plot-wise, there are 3 important facts to understand. Number 1. Vampires are real, along with other mystical creatures in Europe. Number 2. These said beings currently populate the world, however the main setting will be set in the UK. Number 3. Within the UK lies a secret department, known as Department 19. They are the police that supervise the vampires' actions. The story begins with a teen called Jamie Carpenter. Jamie and his mother had been forced to move around the country ever since his father's death. This reason made Jamie despise his father for leaving him and his mother. However, after Jamie has moved to a house with promising prospect, Jamie's mother has been kidnapped by a vampire. Although the kidnapping was most recent, Department 19 responds with sudden emergence, seemingly as if they knew the vampire's actions the whole time. Jamie soon meets another main character of the story, Colonel Victor Frankenstein, a veteran member of Department 19, but not exactly human. In the same day, Jamie is taken to the base of which Department 19 resides. It is a colossal fortress in the middle of nowhere, with many personnel guarding the area. As he enters the fortress, the soldiers running around greet him as if he was a long-lost friend. However, others glare and look at him with displeasure. When he finally enters the fortress, he finds that the department has captured a vampire girl from a recent attack. She is badly beaten to look as if she has died 10 times. Naively thinking he was safe, the vampire escapes the clutches of her captors and grapples Jamie. She tells him that he needs her, for without her, he will never reach his mother. Jamie is then escorted and safely removed from the vampire girl. Guardsmen say that she will wait solitary confinement. Moments later, Jamie meets the head of the Department 19, Admiral Henry Seward. Jamie learns of his true heritage and the reason why the soldiers greeted him as the way they did. Moving forward with the story, Jamie desires to save his mother at all costs, so he begins his training in the facility. After a week of training, he learns that the leads to find his mother has gone cold, so he seeks help from the vampire girl. Within a couple of chapters, Jamie frees this girl, of which her name is Larcy Kenley. She promises to help Jamie in return to free her, and gives him leads to where his mother could be. After a couple of trips to different locations, Jamie's leads bring no results, but right after, when he was about to give up, a message was sent to him, telling him the location of his mother. Because Jamie previously released the vampire, he isn't as trusted as he once was, but he still decides to go without the permission of the director. Right before he was about to leave, a group of people decided to help him save his mother. Once arriving at the location, Jamie sees the true devastations of the vampire. Corpses litter the area, but he only keeps moving. When approaching a monastery where his mother has been located, Jamie and his team faces a werewolf. The werewolf kills off 2 ordinary soldiers that had come along with them, and prepares to do the same with Jamie. Just when Jamie was about to be killed, Colonel Victor Frankenstein steps in the way, saving Jamie with the payment of his own life. He falls off a cliff, never to be seen again. Jamie continues his journey, mourning for his lost companions with more determination than ever. Once arriving, they find a little more of what they've been bargaining for. The vampires outnumber them 4-1. The fight is harsh, but Jamie eventually wins, with the cost of his team members' lives. To his regret, his mother has turned to a vampire, but he still accepts her for whom she is. Jamie can be described as 2 people in one. Before joining Department 19, he was a naive child that thought of life as a game. After joining the department, he becomes wiser, but also has a stronger grasp of what he wants to become and how to accomplish his goals. When faced in a fighting situation, Jamie becomes a cold-blooded killer. He loses all of his emotions, focusing everything into the battle at hand. He silently destroys his prey and never diverts his attention elsewhere. Larcia Kenley, however, is different. She never wanted to become a vampire. Because of this, she tends to hit off with Jamie quite well. She is strong and ruthless when needed be, but it has a playful and cheerful side despite her dark past. Lastly, Colonel Victor Frankenstein. He is more of a cold character. He can not trust anyone except for Jamie, Jamie's ancestors, and a handful of people. Despite being cold and tough, he brings a humorous side to him when he's talking to people whom he trusts. Though he can never leave this past behind, he always acts professional, at all times, choosing only logical paths instead of right ones. The issue behind this story for me is secrets. The existence of Department 19 in this story is a secret hid by the government. For example, what if our government was hiding something from us right now? It might be so big that it might be affecting our daily lives, but instead they decide to keep it as a secret. I think this is controversial because at times the government never or doesn't truthfully give the right answer. If I were to rate this book, it would be an 8 out of 10. It brings enough action for me to keep interested with, and characters are lifelike enough to relate with. The downside of this book is the plot. It didn't give enough plot points to make it seem complicated or surprising in any way. I guessed about the things happening throughout the story and successfully getting most of them right throughout the book. But for pure enjoyment, it was a great read and recommend reading this and its sequels.